Hey, hello, my friend. Today I would like to continue the Lord's Prayer. Today we cover the Your Kingdom Come. It's only the three words, but actually the meaning is profound. Okay, so last time we talked about hallowed be your name. Meaning is, well, it indicates there's a two type of people. One type is who know what the holiness is, the other type who don't. And your kingdom come, the Bible actually refers to the additional type, the third type of people. Who are they? From self and to us, right? Those are the people that we know. But how about those holy people we don't know? If we meet these people in person, what would we feel? Actually, surprisingly, you will feel like we are being in the same family because we share the same value, sharing a somewhat similar God's perspective. Even there's a differences, we are essentially largely share the same value and accommodating. Since we are sharing the same God's nature, we literally feel like we are in the same family. I hope you feel the same too. So your kingdom come extends God's nature from self, from us, to society, even to the country or the whole humanity. This has been God's wishes. And more or less, this is what the God great plan for all of us. How easy that we can align people with one value or within one family. Well, it's hard, right? If you try to unite the whole humanity, it is almost impossible, even though it sounds impossible. Let me give you one example that actually this shared value under God changed this whole world up to now. What is that? This is called Ten Commandments. Now, let me give you some background about what that is. So, when Israelite being kept in Egypt and being tortured, and Moses is the leader who come to lead these people out from Egypt and going to the promised land. This is the journey, we call it the Exodus. And for some reason, they were in this wilderness for 40 years. Now think about there are at least a couple 100,000 people running in the wilderness. Now think about it. These people by itself is a nation. If there's no law to govern their behavior, okay, they can go crazy, hardly manageable. So God give them 10 rules to follow. And in fact, that 10 rules is still being observed today. This is the 10 rules that to keep the nation together. All right. In the old days, particularly in the Exodus time, the way that how the country to govern their own people is essentially using power. In the animal kingdom, you may heard of alpha male because he is the strongest in the group. Whoever who can't fight him, well, you have no choice but follow him. At that time of the Exodus, or even earlier, human is already corrupted to similar culture. They all use power to control other people. This type of ruling, we call it rule of man, because it is created by man and by their power and to control other people. 10 Commandments was a very advanced social system at that time. And they follow the rules of law. Well, rule of law is not a man, it's a concept, is an agreement, or even an ideal. This requires people to have trust and fulfill their promises. 10 Commandments even are simple, but it covers all the necessary aspects of the life to hold Israel nation together for thousands of years. Do you think that Moses is the one that who create that 10 rules? As I said, it was God inspired him that Ten Commandment. There's no human being on earth is that smart that can create that fundamental rules to keep the people together. Also, Israel in Bible is a corrupted nation. Surprisingly, they faithfully document all the bad things they did and share that generation by generation. Because the God they know, even they are bad, God will always come to rescue them again and again and again. Israel is the nation that God used to testify his love and the relationship between God and his people. In fact, God doesn't want to use rules to govern people's behavior. They should have the freedom to do whatever they like. However, not all of them are willing to follow God. Therefore, rules of law become necessary. If you think of the rules of law and the rules of God, these two are seemingly very different concepts. Rules of law cover anything when things goes wrong. Rules of God is if you follow rules of God, we will automatically fulfill the rules of law. So it's the positive behavior. In the Bible, Lord Jesus summarized the whole Bible into one simple rule. Love your neighbor as yourself. All people are equals. It is the biggest rules of God ever. If you can achieve love your neighbor as yourself, you are the better person than me. I tell you, it's not easy. In fact, Lord Jesus is the most important figure to come to reconcile seemingly conflicts between the need of the rules of law and the rules of God. He himself is the perfect demonstration how he can fulfill the rules of law at the same time fulfill the rules of God. And because his existence and his life come to us to demonstrate we are the God's children. We both have the roof of God that gives us the freedom. But at the same time, we don't need to worry about the rules of law. In some sense, we can achieve the ideal at the same time dealing with the reality. We can have this both together. How to achieve the ideal? By doing things right without compromise. This is all the humanity need to learn from the Lord Jesus. He is the one that achieved the best of the both. I hope you get something today. See you next time.